Hello, everyone, and welcome to Empire Sports, the home for all your favorite New York sports teams. I'm Matthew Moran, and my guest tonight is Sam Watkins. Thanks for joining me, Sam.
Very happy to be here, Matt.
Yeah. Now let's get right into it with the New York Giants. Many fans with the Giants say, "Oh, this team always gets off to a slow start," but no, this season they are 0-6. Who is to blame for their very struggling season so far?
Let me start off by saying 0-6 is not a slow start. When you have the number of games you have in the NFL season, 6 games makes up a big part of your schedule. So to answer your question, Tom Coughlin is to blame.
Yeah, 6 games for a playoff team is the amount you probably want to lose, and after that, if you lose any more than that, you're pretty much destroying your playoff chances. I think that the playoff chances for the Giants are definitely over.
They have to go 10-0 just to finish 10-6. We know some of their players have predicted them going 10-0, but the chances of that actually happening are very slim. And the way they're playing, I'll be happy if they can win 1 game.
It's very true. They have a very tough schedule. You know, the NFC East is full of teams. No one's really taking control of that division. But the way they're playing, I don't see how they can compete with the rest of the teams in the NFC East.
As you touched upon earlier, their schedule is very difficult. They have to play the Seahawks, the Redskins twice. I believe they have to go down to play San Diego and play Dallas again, who beat them in week 1. I don't really see the Giants turning this around. Best case scenario, they get a high draft pick. You don't want to finish in the middle of the pack this year.
Yeah, you said that who's to blame for this is Tom Coughlin. What about Eli Manning? He's thrown 15 interceptions. His team has 25 turnovers. The defense has looked pretty bad. The offensive line is not helping. Running game is terrible. What about all that?
Well, if someone has to be blamed, I would say the offensive line. But the Giants aren't going to cut their entire offensive line. The guy they can cut is Tom Coughlin. Coughlin seemingly has lost the team. Eli is an elite quarterback, whether you agree with me or not, or whether New York agrees with me or not. I mean, it's 0-6, so plenty of New York probably doesn't agree with me right now. But he's led the team to 2 Super Bowls. How can you argue with that? It's more than you can say for most teams and most quarterbacks.
Now you say Eli Manning has led his team to 2 Super Bowls. Well, what about Tom Coughlin? He's also led his team to 2 Super Bowls. And when you're a head coach and you win 2 Super Bowls, how can you say just let him go after just 6 games in a season?
All good things must come to an end. And Eli getting cut or Tom Coughlin getting cut, Eli's not going anywhere right now.
Now you say Tom Coughlin gets fired. Does he get fired right now, or do they let the season play out and fire him then?
If I was the Giants, I'd get rid of Tom Coughlin right now, let a new coach come in, get acclimated to the playing environment in New York before you have to jump into it right next year.
Yeah, it should be interesting if they do get an interim coach and they decide to let maybe a defensive coordinator come in. I remember a couple years ago with the Buffalo Bills, the same thing happened. They had Dick Duran. They decided to fire him, and then they brought in their defensive coordinator, Perry Fool, and they just actually played pretty good down the stretch. Of course, didn't make the playoffs, but it would be interesting to see if they do decide to fire Coughlin, how the season progresses for the Giants. Let's take off the Jets. Now, it seems like they have 2 squads playing every time they play. One game, they're great, and we see Geno driving them down for a game-winning drive at the Georgia Dome against the Atlanta Falcons on Monday Night Football. This week, they are looking absolutely dreadful against the winless Pittsburgh Steelers. How do you explain this, Sam?
That's what happens when you get a rookie quarterback. You don't know what you're going to get from him. Geno Smith had no NFL experience entering the season, and I think it's pretty lucky that the Jets are 3-3, not 0-6 like the Giants.
So do you think this team is playing above how it's playing? The record's playing is above how they're playing or below?
Absolutely above. I think if you told the Jets fans they'd be 3-3 entering this week, they'd be happy. I mean, they're still in playoff contention. A few more wins here, which I think they're definitely capable of doing, and they may be shooting for a wild card spot at the end of the season.
Yeah, they got a big game this Sunday against the New England Patriots. Do you see, like they almost pulled it out in New England a couple weeks ago. Now it's in the Meadowlands, and New England, they came off their huge win against New Orleans. Nobody saw them winning that game. Like, they're a team that they weren't playing New England Patriot football. They were grinding out wins, but not really winning games like they used to. And then they came out and just shocked the world and beat the Saints. Any hope for the Jets on Sunday?
There is absolutely hope. The Jets have had some success playing Foxborough, winning a playoff game there a few years ago. And I know Rex Ryan and the team really wants this.
I know Rex Ryan wants to get payback for the way the Patriots treated his brother, Rob Ryan. The picture of Rob Ryan at the end of that game was just class. Now we'll talk about with these 2 quarterbacks. There are 2 rookie quarterbacks now in the AFC East. Now I know EJ's hurt, But so far through 6 games, who do you think's the better quarterback for the future for their teams?
Well, despite EJ missing a few weeks with injury, I definitely think EJ has shown more promise. That great Week 2 comeback he showed the resolve and the composure to come back in that Week 2 game. And that's all you really need from a quarterback, is able to make plays in big situations. I'm not saying Geno Smith won't be able to do that, but he hasn't proven it yet.
Yeah, but we also saw Geno, he did it against the Atlanta Falcons. Now, maybe the Falcons aren't the best team this year, but I definitely, I think, in my opinion, Geno right now is the better quarterback. He's playing, they have a 3-3 team, but I definitely believe that EJ is the future of the Buffalo Bills. He, I think, can be a franchise quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. What do you see, Sam, in that?
I definitely agree with you. He's shown some great things, and he's only a rookie. You hope he's only going to get better. With solid offensive line, solid receivers in Buffalo in the years to come, I see no reason why the Bills can't be winning the AFC East in 2 years.
Sorry to cut you off there, but I see a little bit maybe a Donovan McNabb in the future for EJ. He just looks like a poised quarterback to be ready for the NFL.
Poised is a great word to describe EJ Manuel right now.
Yeah, and he looks so poised when he's not putting up big stats, and he's not a fantasy quarterback, that's for sure. But he's getting the job done when they need to do it. They're definitely missing him right now, but like you said, EJ is a great quarterback for the future. Now we'll take it to with EJ is out, and the Bills are now have the Thad Lewis experience, and we saw it on Sunday. I don't think anybody saw the Bills competing with the Cincinnati Bengals with Thad Lewis, but they did, and they almost pulled it out in overtime.
Yeah, I really like the Thad Lewis experience. It was better than what you say, the Jeff Toole quarter, Jeff Toole half. And if they can come that close to beating Cincinnati, I think that Jeff Toole may be cut, and Thad Lewis may be able to solidify himself as a backup quarterback once EJ comes back.
Yeah, Jeff Toole kind of had his tryout at Cleveland last week, and then now Thad got his tryout, and Thad played way better than Toole did. The Bills have signed Matt Flynn in the just yesterday. So with EJ coming back, 4 quarterbacks on the roster. You did mention Jeff Toole gets cut. Is that what you think is going to happen when EJ gets back?
I think the Bills front office hasn't really shown any faith in Toole that will make us believe they're going to go with him moving forward. Thad Lewis, as you said, had a great game against Cincinnati last week. He almost beat them.
Yeah.
And when you can beat the Buffalo Bills, can almost beat the Cincinnati Bengals. Season the Bengals are having, that shows some great things for the future for Thad Lewis.
It was a very frustrating loss for the Bills. They competed so well against them. Some, I think, bad calls early in the game. They went for it on 4th and goal at the 1-yard line, which, in my opinion, you take the points. You take the points instead of going for it on 4th and goal. Those 3 points could have cost them the loss. They also, in overtime, we saw them give up a huge punt return to the Cincinnati Bengals that set up a field goal to win the game. Who do you think Matt Flynn at all shakes into this? Do you think he's the third string, he's not going to get a shot at it?
I think he may find a shot. No offense to the Bills, but come down the season, they may not be in contention.
Yeah.
Maybe a good opportunity to get Flynn some playing time, see what he can bring to the team and what he can bring to the team in the future. And
he's definitely shown that he can play in different places. We saw him in Seattle, in Oakland. He was also the backup quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. He's a veteran quarterback. He's a journeyman, but he's a guy that I think the Bills could rely on if need be.
Yeah, it's a great signing for Buffalo. He has some more veteran leadership that you haven't seen with guys like Thad Lewis and EJ Manuel. And they need a veteran leader besides Fred Jackson in that locker room to keep things going and move forward with the team.
Yeah, what do you think for the Bills now in their upcoming game at Miami? Thad Lewis, he was in a walking boot at the end of the game on Sunday, but they say it was just a precaution. He should be ready for Sunday's game. What do you think shakes out in South Beach?
Well, I think it's voting in the Bills' favor right now, actually. Miami started off season hot, but has now fallen to 3-2. And the Bills, even though they lost last week, I think it's definitely going to be a momentum builder, just so that they came that close to beating Cincinnati. So for the Bills, take it going forward, look forward after this game, and maybe build forward on this going to the future.
It would definitely keep the Bills in the playoff hunt in that AFC. So we will see how the NFL shakes out over the following weeks. Next up, we'll be talking the signing of Joe Girardi and the Mets possibly signing Johan Santana. Stay tuned here on Empire Sports.
My name is LaDainian Tomlinson. By keeping kids in school, I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Attention students and faculty. Avery Rental Properties is now renting for the next school year. Avery accommodates all group sizes, small or large. Avery Rental Properties. Make our house your home. 24-hour maintenance, garbage removal, snow removal, and off-street parking. Avery Rental Properties, 315-343-5005.
Got a good thing going, and I don't wanna see it end. Oh no, no, no.
Hi, we're Real Big Fish.
And you're watching WTOP 10.
Like the number.
The Oswego MBA program, helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with flexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
Down 70 to 35, and the Cougars were getting smoked like a cheap cigar.
This can't be happening. This can't be happening.
Of course it's not happening. Armored car. Listen, having money isn't about luck. Make your own coffee, save $1,000 a year. Feed me.
Feed the pig.
Welcome back to Empire Sports. Now we're going to switch it from the NFL to the MLB. Now the Yankees re-signed Joe Girardi to a 4-year, $16 million deal. We're going to first look at Sam. Was it a good move by Girardi staying with the Yankees?
No, it was a fantastic move by Girardi signing with the Yankees. Forget Robinson Cano. Joe Girardi was the biggest free agent that the Yankees needed to go after, and they got him.
Okay. Do you think Joe Girardi could have other teams that he could have gone for? We heard the Cubs were looking after. I think another team was trying to pursue him. He's a guy that when you win a World Series, you become a very contender to be a manager anywhere.
I would be surprised if all these teams that needed managers weren't seeking a manager like Girardi, or Girardi exactly. He's without doubt one of the premier managers in baseball, and you talked about him wanting or maybe going to the Cubs. We found out eventually that he wanted to stay in New York where his family was, and I think this is ultimately going to be the best decision for the Girardi family and for the Yankees organization.
Now you say it was the best move for Girardi. What about for the Yankees? The last couple years, this year they did not make the playoffs, which in the Yankees' retrospect, if you don't make the playoffs, something is wrong. And they have, I know, they won a World Series in 2009. They have the best record since Joe Girardi joined the team in the past 5 years of the MLB. But for the Yankees, do you think that they should have gone for a different guy for the manager?
Look at all the players that were injured this year, and the Yankees still won 85 games.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is why I think Girardi should not only have been re-signed, but should be considered for the American League Manager of the Year. Look what he did with this team. He took them from nothing. They were practically out of it in July. They actually were out of it. They crawled right back into it for the final weeks of the season. Not any manager can do that, but Joe Girardi's not just any manager.
That is a big statement, Stan, saying that Joe Girardi would have been the manager of the year for the AL. I mean, you look at guys like Terry Francona in Cleveland that led his team from nothing to the playoffs. I mean, I don't think Joe Girardi really was the contender for the AL manager. I mean,
a contender, not the contender.
Okay. Now, let's switch it to the Mets. Now, the Mets, a lot of problems going on with this team. They're hoping to get some guys. We hear there's reports that they're going to sign Johan Santana. Do you think he actually could be returning to the team?
I really hope not. Santana didn't really do anything exceptional this time in New York. And why would you sign a guy like Santana coming off Tommy John surgery when you have guys like Noah Syndergaard and Rafael Montero in the minor leagues? And if you don't want to go with Montero and Syndergaard now, there's plenty of good options in free agency. You sign a guy like Dan Haren and maybe Scott Baker or Ubaldo Jimenez. So I see no reason why the Mets should go after Johan Santana.
Well, this is a guy that, he even though it's been years since he was real Cy Young contender, this guy just 2 years ago, he pitched a no-hitter. I mean, he's going to go down in Mets history as the guy that pitched the only no-hitter in franchise history until they have a no-hitter again. I mean, how could you not go with Johan Santana?
Did you see his stats after the no-hitter? They plummeted.
Well, I mean, he's only 34 years old. Many people that he's a lot older than that. He's only 34 years old. He's still got a lot more years in him. I think any team would be looking for Johan Santana. And if Santana's agent thinks it's best for Santana to go to the Mets, why not? They need Harvey's out. Can Wheeler really take over as the ace for this team? I see I think there's a great thing. Maybe Santana will be the ace, but I think he could be a solid number 3 starter for the Mets.
Yeah, you said Santana's agent thinks it would be good for Johan to go back to the Mets, but it wouldn't be good for the Mets to get Johan back. He had nothing stellar with his team. There's so many other good options better than Johan Santana. Maybe for sentimental value, you'd sign him because he pitched their only no-hitter in Mets history. That's the only reason I can think of.
Well, I definitely know he would probably put fans in the seats. But we're gonna go on to now. Even though we're not a New York State, we are a New York State sports show. I just want to get your opinion. ALCS and LCS going on right now. Who is going to win the World Series, Sam?
The Boston Red Sox are going to win the 2013 World Series, and I'm almost certain of it. The American League winner, pennant winner, will win the World Series. And right now, after the Red Sox winning 1-0 against the Tigers today, taking a 2-1 series lead, I have no reason to believe they won't. They beat Max Scherzer, they beat Justin Verlander. Surprisingly, the only guy they couldn't beat was Anibal Sanchez. And after falling down 1-0 to the Tigers, I'm extremely confident again that the Red Sox will not only make the World Series, but win the World Series.
Yeah, I'm not surprised you're wearing your Red Sox tie. I remember you were wearing that on our last episode 2 weeks ago on a New York sports show wearing a Red Sox tie. Sam, what are you doing? Anyways, I think my personal pick, I think it's St. Louis Cardinals. This team is getting really hot. Carlos Beltran is a monster in October. They have great pitching. Michael Wacha, it's Walktober.
Waka Waka.
It's St. Louis is trying to close it out. They're trying to go 3-0 on the series. Probably going to sweep them. I think the Cardinals could take care of the Red Sox.
Let me correct you. The Dodgers did actually win a game last night, so it wouldn't be a sweep.
Sorry. Okay.
But I agree with you. The Cardinals are looking fantastic right now. As you touched on, Michael Wacha with 2 great starts. Adam Wainwright, Shelby Miller. These are such young guys, with the exception of Wainwright, shown such promise in their young careers, not only for the future, making the World Series and maybe beating the Red Sox. We'll see what you think about that. But going forward, the Cardinals are going to be a dynasty.
Yeah, the Cardinals actually up right now 4-2 in the 9th in LA right now, looking to take a 3-1 series lead, I believe.
Yep.
Yep, 3-1 series lead. Even if they don't win Game 5, I see them probably closing it out in St. Louis in either Game 6. Looks really good for the Cardinals right now. You say, okay, so we're very good opinion by you, Sam. We'll see how the Red Sox and Tigers finish off, and same thing with the Cardinals and Dodgers. We will explain, now when we come back, we're going to explain what is wrong with the New York Rangers. Also, the Sabres finally won a game, and it was against the Islanders. We'll recap the game. Keep it here on WTOP.
Get your Smokey on. If you see someone in danger of starting a wildfire, step in and make a difference. Because 9 out of 10 wildfires can be prevented.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
You're watching WTOP TV 10, Oswego, New York. I'm the kid. Come on.
The Oswego MBA program, helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with flexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
Hi, I'm CNN's Rob Marciano, and you're watching WTOP 10, your television station.
Algebra 2! Foreign languages! And finally, biology! Who among you will step up to their challenge?
Me.
Yeah, I'll do it. Me too. Sign me up.
Take on the tough classes now. You need them to prepare for college.
Once again back here on Empire Sports Now. Hockey season is in full swing, and surprisingly, the Rangers are off to a terrible start. Now, Sam, this Rangers team had a lot of hope. They have a lot of big key players on the team, a lot of highlight real players, and unfortunately, they're off to a 1-4 start. But 1-4 does not really show how bad this team is playing. They are getting outscored by the numbers. They're averaging less than 2 goals a game. Lundqvist is playing absolutely terrible. Marty Baron, their backup goalie, was actually put on waivers, sent down to the minor leagues after just giving up 4 goals last night to the St. Louis Blues. What's wrong with the Rangers, Sam?
What isn't wrong with the Rangers? Look at the stats. 25 goals allowed, second most in the NHL. I'm sorry about that. 28 goals scored, 26th in the NHL. You can't, if you're giving up those goals and you're not scoring them, there's no way you're going to win. They give up 9 goals, the next night they give up 7 goals. I mean, there's no way you're going to win in that formula. Henrik Lundqvist gave up 88 total goals last season. He's already given up 16. That's not a winning formula, and something needs to change quickly if they want to turn the season around.
Yeah, I have Henrik Lundqvist on my fantasy hockey team.
For
I picked him right in the first round, 5th pick of my draft, and he decides to play absolutely terrible. This is the first time I even actually drafted Lundqvist, and of course he plays like this. Now, with the Rangers, we saw with the Philadelphia Flyers, after just 3 games of losing, they fired their coach, and this coach, their coach, been around for many years. Now they have a new coach in the Rangers. Of course, they're probably missing John Tortorella. Do you think the Rangers should just get rid of the coach, or it's too early to tell?
It's way too early to tell. This is his first year with the Rangers, and they're only 5 games in. There's no way you can be able to judge a guy, or it's not really fair to judge a guy off the first 5 games of a season. But to be fair, sports is about winning, and when you're not winning, things have to change. So I wouldn't really be surprised to see him get fired.
Now, even though they weren't expected to do that well, the Sabres are off to an even worse start. They're 1-6-1, which they finally won their first game of the year tonight against the Islanders. It was a great game. We were watching it up in the studio against the Islanders. There was a game that, unfortunately, we don't have the video to show you. We would love to show you to, but it was a great game that went to a shootout. We saw in the game Thomas Vanek scored another goal. He's leading the team in goals. This is not a team. This is a team that doesn't really have a lot of goal scorers. With the Sabres, when you don't have a lot of guys that can score, what can you do?
Well, when you don't have a lot of guys that you score, you depend on guys like Ryan Miller to not allow the other team to score. Ryan Miller in the shootout had a great save today, which allowed the Sabres to win the game. And if you're the Sabres fans, even though they're 1-6, I gotta like the team, the way the team's playing. They're playing with a lot of heart, and I think eventually a team that plays with a lot of heart will translate to the ice rink.
Yeah, with the loss, the Islanders dropped to 2-2-2. So while I'm very happy that hockey is finally back, we're going to take one final break. When we wrap it up, we're going to go with college football, and I'm going to ask Sam some questions in our new segment, Fact or Fiction. You're watching Empire Sports on WTOP.
Questions?
What is your soup of the day?
We have a mulligatawny soup.
Oh, do you have any specials?
We have a steak special today.
Oh, how's that cooked?
That's pan-seared and then...
Does it come with a side dish? Is it grilled? Can I have it steamed? So what do you recommend? What kind of pie do you have? You're an actor. Aren't you from Ohio?
Any questions?
Ask questions. For the 10 questions everyone should know, go to ahrq.gov.
Hi, I'm Al Roker, class of 76, Oswego State University. You're watching WTOP, Channel 10. We didn't have this when I was in school. We just had radio and smoke signals.
Attention students and faculty. Avery Rental Properties is now renting for the next school year. Avery accommodates all group sizes, small or large. Avery Rental Properties. Make our house your home. 24-hour maintenance, garbage removal, snow removal, and off-street parking. Avery Rental Properties. 315-343-5005.
Saveac ambulance responded to a 1 Bravo response, basement of Cuba Hall.
Dispatch, Saveac 1, en route.
Hey, we're at Saveac. How can we help you today?
welcome back. Now, we're going to switch it off to the college football level. Now, on this show 2 weeks ago, I made a bold prediction saying the UB Bulls were going to win the MAC conference. I'm feeling pretty good about this now. They're on a 4-game winning streak. They won 33-0 over Western Michigan in their previous game. They're up against who are they up against, Sam?
Massachusetts.
UMass, not a very good team in the MAC. They're looking great with Joe Licata, the local quarterback from Williamsville. They got Brandon Oliver, Collie Mack on defense. I'm pretty happy about this prediction. It doesn't look really good for the UB Bulls, doesn't it, Sam?
Well, it does look great for the Bulls.
Yeah.
They're 4-2, and they're playing Massachusetts, who's 1-5. On a 4-game winning streak, no reason to think they can't keep it up.
The defense is playing phenomenal. The offense on all key. Now we'll take it to the other New York State team, the Syracuse Orange in the ACC at 3-3. They got a big game coming up against Georgia Tech. Now they run a 2 QB offense, Sam. Do you think that can work? They're with Terrell Hunt and Drew Allen, both sophomores, so no one really has the upper hand on this. Do you think that they should just go with one guy or keep that 2 QB offense?
I like what they're doing. They're 3-3, so it's not like they're a major problem so far. And playing Georgia Tech next week, they're 3-3 as well. So as you said, this is going to be a big game to see where their season is going forward.
Yeah, we'll see how the Bulls and the Orange do further into this season. Now, it comes time in this show where I'm going to ask the guest about a story, and he tells me if he believes it is fact or fiction. We're going to first start off with Girardi locked up for 4 years. Many people think that Derek Jeter could be the manager for the Yankees. Do you think that Jeter is the manager for the Yankees in 2018?
Not 2018. I'm going to go with fiction on that. But somewhere down the line, I'm pretty confident that Derek Jeter will manage his New York Yankees.
Okay. Now, what about what you said? I think you already displayed your opinion about the Mets signing Johan Santana. You say that's probably fiction.
Unfortunately, I think it's fact. I wish it was fiction. Every rumor has some substance to it, and I really hope the Mets don't sign Santana, but I think they may be heading in that direction.
Yeah, I think that even though you think it might not be the best for the Mets, I just think they have a lot of holes in that pitching staff, and they need him. Now, finally, I know a lot of people are not going to want to hear this, but are the Giants even going to win a game this year?
Yes, one game. They're going to win Week 10 against the Oakland Raiders. That's it. That should secure them the first pick in the draft next year, which is the only thing they can hope for right now.
Yeah, it's very sad to see how fallen these Giants have gone from being a usual playoff hopeful team to now being a team that maybe just wins one game. Of course, we could see another team from Kansas City. They went from the first pick to 6-0. So, well, thank you, Sam, again for being on this show.
Thank you so much for having me, Matt.
Now, we're gonna we'll see you again in 2 weeks' time where we talk about once again Empire Sports. Empire Sports is also a radio show on WMIO. Thank you for watching.
You know, energy savers last 6 times longer than regular bulbs. This isn't my room. It's Baron Davis's. The basketball player? This is his room?
I don't live here.
Millions of kids are using their energy wisely. What's your excuse?
The Oswego MBA program, helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with fflexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
Attention students and faculty. Avery Rental Properties is now renting for the next school year. Avery accommodates all group sizes, small or large. Avery Rental Properties. Make our house your home. 24-hour maintenance, garbage removal, snow removal, and off-street parking. Avery Rental Properties. 315-343-5005.
You ever think about buying a bigger place? Just waiting for a visit from the credit fairy. There is no credit fairy.
How else will I get a better credit score?
Look, you keep your credit card balances low and only open a new card if you really need it.
No fairy?
There's no magic to improving your credit, but there's help, and it's free. Go to creditfairy.org.